Imagine a giant conveyor belt producing over 1.5 million eggs every day. Eggs not born from poultry, eggs born from mechanics, a system of machinery operating continuously, relentless, flawless. But the astonishing secret lies inside. The egg core you eat is actually a spectacular chemical deception. That is the Cadbury Creme. By the end of this video, you will understand why a simple enzyme is the secret behind this legacy. Let's start right from the moment the chocolate shell crumbles. The gooey stream spills out, pure white, vibrant yellow. You taste it and think it is cream. You know everyone thinks so. But what is the truth? There is not a single drop of cream inside this egg. Absolutely none. What you just ate is liquid fondant, a supersaturated sugar-infused soft candy. Its ingredients are ridiculously simple. White granulated sugar, pure corn syrup, a bit of water and dried egg whites to create a spongy structure, and the rich yolk? Yet another visual deception. It is the exact same white mixture, but dyed with food coloring or paprika extract to fool the eyes. That is all. Completely an illusion. So how does a crude sugar mixture transform into that magical flow? Step into the factory's filling kitchen. Here, sugar and corn syrup are shoved into giant industrial pressure cookers. They are boiled at an extreme temperature, exactly 240 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 continuous minutes. At this point, the sugar is completely subdued in the form of molten syrup. But the real magic lies in the next step. The system instantly opens a valve to cold shock it down to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, a perfect thermal shock. The mixture is fed into continuous whipping shafts to create a thick snow-white mass of fondant candy. Here a baffling question arises. If it is that thick, how can it flow out when you bite the shell? The answer is an invisible catalyst, the enzyme invertase. Remember this name. A small amount of invertase is added to the dense fondant mass right before molding. When the egg is packaged and placed on the shelf, this enzyme quietly begins its journey. It sneaks into the molecular bonds. It breaks down sucrose into glucose and fructose. The process occurs slowly, preventing the sugar from crystallizing and hardening over time. It turns the solid fondant mass into a sloppy, gooey flow. Do you see the madness in this? When leaving the factory, the egg core is a solid. But by the time it rests in your hands in America, it is already a liquid. A precise timing calculation down to the day. But a perfect liquid core would be completely meaningless if the outer protective armor collapses. To mold the chocolate shell containing that flow, engineers have to face a far more brutal challenge. Look again at the crispy chocolate shell you just broke. Do you think they just melt chocolate and pour it into a mold? Think again. The world of industrial chocolate is a fierce battle of crystals. There, an error of just 1 degree Celsius will destroy entire tons of ingredients. Therefore, Cadbury must apply a strict thermal control process called tempering. The margin of error here is zero. That's right, absolutely zero. The nature of cocoa butter is an extremely temperamental fat. It has up to 6 different crystal structures when solidifying. But manufacturers crave only the Form 5 crystal, or Form 5. Why Form 5 and not the others? Because only Form 5 brings that mirror-like glossy finish under the supermarket lights. Only Form 5 creates that highly stimulating crisp snap when bitten. And most importantly, this crystal form has the perfect physical shrinkage. It helps the chocolate detach itself from the mold without leaving any sticky residue. To hunt down the Form 5 crystal, the chocolate must undergo a life or death temperature journey. First, the liquid chocolate is melted at 45 degrees Celsius to wipe out all previous weak crystal structures. Immediately after, the machine abruptly drops the temperature to 27 degrees Celsius to seed new crystals. At this point, Form 4 and Form 5 crystals appear simultaneously. But we do not want Form 4, so the machine raises the temperature back to exactly 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, a subtle thermal nudge. At this level, the Form 4 crystals melt completely, leaving only the resilient Form 5 crystals to dominate the structure. The brutality lies right here. If the temperature deviates by even a single degree, disaster will strike instantly. The chocolate suffers from a dulling phenomenon called fat bloom. The fat separates, rising to the surface to form moldy-looking white streaks as if it were spoiled. The chocolate piece becomes mushy, sticking stubbornly to the mold. Tons of raw materials turn into industrial waste in the blink of an eye. You see, the glossiness is no accident. It is the result of a chillingly precise physical battle. However, having the shell filling is only the prerequisite. How do you stuff a liquid inside another liquid in the blink of an eye without them mixing? That is when we must bow to the brilliant mechanical minds. Now step into the heart of the assembly line. You are standing before the craziest mechanical paradox. How do you pump liquid fondant filling in while the chocolate shell is still melting without them blending together? Two liquids meeting should technically dissolve into a chaotic mess, right? But no. The engineers exploited a fundamental law of physics, density. The sugar-infused fondant filling has a much higher density and is significantly heavier than liquid chocolate. Therefore, when the nozzle shoots out a precise amount of filling, gravity pulls this heavy mass straight down to the bottom of the mold. It rests obediently on top of the chocolate layer. The system separates clear boundaries without intruding or dissolving. A perfect arrangement by nature. Next is the performance of the high-speed molding machines. Imagine a system of two half molds running in parallel at a speed of over 10,000 eggs per hour. One half contains the egg white, the other half contains the yolk. Right at the intersection, a mechanical roller glides over the mold's edge, releasing a razor-thin layer of chocolate glue. Then slam! The two halves fold together as decisively as you would close a book. The sealing line must be airtight. The pressing force must be tailored down to the milligram. Too much pressure, the liquid filling squirts out. Too little force, the egg splits in half as it cools. Immediately after, the bare eggs are pushed into a high-capacity cooling tunnel to set the structure. Emerging at the exit, they fall into the encirclement of foil-wrapping robotic arms. The speed is now pushed to an unimaginable level. 500 eggs per minute. Spinning rollers continuously polish, pressing the foil tightly against the chocolate surface. The process runs smoothly, leaving no redundant creases behind. Are you curious about the scale of all this madness? Come to the Bourneville factory in Birmingham, UK. This is the sanctuary of Cadbury eggs. Every passing day, the conveyor belt churns out 1.5 million finished eggs into the market. Let's do some simple math. About 500 million eggs are shipped out a year. The volume of chocolate consumed reaches 17,000 tons, heavier than 2 Eiffel Towers combined. In the UK alone, citizens devour 200 million eggs every year, averaging 3 eggs per person. A surreal industrial scale hidden behind a tiny treat. The greatness of this automated system is indisputable. However, even the most perfect machine cannot control the battle of wits behind the commercial and legal scenes. Do you think every Cadbury egg in the world is the same? Not at all. The eggs in the US and the UK are two completely different creatures. Since 1988, the Hershey Corporation has had the exclusive rights to produce and market Cadbury in America. Due to legal regulations and local palates, Hershey uses sugar as the main ingredient of the chocolate. Meanwhile, the original British version keeps milk as its soul. The result? American eggs are criticized for having a waxy and harder taste, whereas the British eggs are rich, melting softly. Hershey even used the law to ban the importation of eggs from the UK into the US to protect its market. A true flavor war. It doesn't stop there. The manufacturer constantly challenges the patience of consumers. Remember the 2007 scandal? Actor B.J. Novak stood on American television, proving the egg had shrunk from 39 grams down to 34 grams. The candy company covered it up with a classic line, "The egg hasn't gotten smaller, you've just grown up." Ridiculous, isn't it? But the peak of outrage occurred in 2015 in the UK. Parent company Mondelez secretly swapped the premium dairy milk chocolate shell for a standard cocoa mix containing palm oil to cut costs. Simultaneously, they reduced the number of eggs per carton from 6 down to 5. A fierce wave of boycotts erupted. Customers were furious because their childhood memories were betrayed. The consequence was an immediate evaporation of 6 million British pounds in revenue, equivalent to over $12 million US, in just one holiday season. Is this candy company crazy for constantly releasing bizarre variations? Recall April 2019, when they partnered with Heinz to launch Cadbury Creme Egg-flavored mayonnaise, leaving the public terrified. Or the campaign of hiding rare white chocolate eggs in regular foil wrappers for buyers to hunt for a minimum price of £100, all just to keep the heat alive for an icon. Even the way you eat it was seriously surveyed in 1985. 53% of Americans prefer to bite the top off the egg and lick the filling inside. 20% bite straight through decisively. And 6% like to use their fingers to scoop the filling out to eat. The world has even recorded a record of eating an egg in a mere 8.6 seconds. Technological perfection clearly cannot protect a product if it turns its back on the nostalgic value of its customers. Sometimes the attempt to distort a small legacy to squeeze out a few extra pennies of profit comes at the cost of the collapse of a long-standing cultural icon.